everyone, and thank you for watching today's video. My name is Sarah Joy. I'm a classically trained cellist and a music teacher. And basically, if you're new to my channel, what I do is I have two shows, you could call them. And one of them is where I post music videos on Wednesdays every single week. They are usually covers, classical music, original music, collaborations occasionally. And not only do I hope to share music with you, but I really hope to inspire you to learn an instrument and become a musician if you aren't already one. In order to do that, you need the necessary tools. So the foundations of music and the basic technical aspects of playing an instrument. That leads me to the other show on my channel, where I post one music tutorial every single week on Fridays. And so if either of those things sound interesting to you, be sure to subscribe. And if you ever have any questions, whether it's related to cello or any other instrument, let me know and I will do my best to help you with that. Today, I'm going to be giving you some sight reading tips and tricks. And someone asked for this, I think like 3 weeks ago. I'm so sorry it took me so long. So number one, and this is very, very important, practice sight reading every single day. It's just like any other skill that you can develop on your instrument. You just have to practice. There are plenty of materials that you can practice sight reading with. Orchestra music is really great. I would not recommend showing up to a rehearsal not having practiced beforehand, but I do think that, especially school orchestras, they do like to practice sight reading, so getting involved with an orchestra is a great way to do that. But on your own, whenever you're practicing sight reading, for example, you could take an etude book like this. This is volume 1 of the Schroeder 170 Foundation Studies for Cello. The book starts out fairly easy. This is for beginners, book 1. And then as you progress, they keep getting harder and harder until you have etudes like this, and some that might be even harder than that. You may not be able to sight read one of these per week at first. Hopefully, as your sight reading skills grow, you can start doing that, and eventually you can sight read one of these per day. The main way to help with sight reading is to practice. So take one of these etudes every single week. If you can, do one every single day. Don't overwhelm yourself, and remember that there are a lot of technical things that should be thought about while practicing these etudes, but if we're just talking about sight reading, these are a great way to practice that. But again, these etudes are meant mostly for working on specific technical aspects of your playing. Even if you are using these etudes to practice sight reading, I think that it would be very helpful for you and important to actually go back and, later and actually learn the etudes one by one and practice getting the technical aspects of what they're hoping that you'll learn from these. And of course, you can use any etude book. You can use any repertoire book that you want to. The only thing that I would say to look out for really is to make sure that you are using something that is at your level. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't be jumping straight into the Popper High School collection before you've gone through, Lee etudes and, all of those. The next tip that I have mostly applies to if you are in an orchestral setting, you haven't had time to practice. Perhaps it's the first rehearsal and the conductor's like, all right, let's do a run through, and you just haven't had time really to look through the music, which hopefully that doesn't happen. But if it does, what you do is you take, depending on the length of the piece, maybe 20-25 minutes, and scan the music, pick out the hard parts, circle those, really study the hard parts. So if your eye glances at quarter notes and half notes and it's in an easy key and not in a strange clef, then don't worry about that part. Just kind of ignore that for right now and go to where you see a lot of 16th notes and in some crazy key, and perhaps it's in tenor clef or treble clef, or you need to be playing in thumb position. So anytime that you are put in that position of, oh my gosh, I have to play this music really fast or else someone's gonna yell at me, be sure to find those difficult points first and mentally go through it. You don't necessarily have to play through a difficult part to be able to sight read it. Just mentally look at it and, should help. My third point, which probably should have gone first or second, is to check the time signature, key signature, and which clef you're in. It's very embarrassing to start playing in an orchestra in the wrong clef and you're a fifth off from everybody else and they're looking at you like, what are you doing? The fourth tip is to read ahead. And so there is a difference between looking at something before you start playing, and preparing yourself mentally, and actually reading ahead while you're playing there, while you're actually sitting there and playing through the music. My teacher, a long time ago, she told me a story about her teacher where he was this fabulous sight reader, and he was able to actually read 8 measures ahead of where he was playing. So he was playing the notes on the page, but his eyes were already 8 measures ahead of where he was, which is crazy to me. I can probably maybe get 4 to 5 measures ahead, and that's on a good day. But that is a goal to shoot for. So how many measures are you able to read ahead? And that way your fingers aren't taken by surprise. Everything is like, oh, well, I knew that was coming because I already saw it. So, everything's fine. Another tip would be to stay relaxed. Whenever you're sight reading, it's very easy to tense up because you're nervous and you're having to intake a lot of information, new information very quickly. So take a deep breath and let yourself appreciate the music as it's going by. If you miss a note, it's okay. You're sight reading, just keep going, try to keep up, and have fun. My last 2 tips are very common sense. Maybe I don't even need to mention them, but I had a problem whenever I was younger. I needed glasses, but no one knew that I needed glasses, and I didn't really know, and I kept wondering, like, why can't I read my music? I'm so frustrated, and people are getting mad at me because I can't read. And it turns out that I had horrible eyesight. So if you are having trouble reading music, you might look into that. Get your eyes checked, because that can be a bad strain on your eyes, which can give you headaches, it can give you neck aches and back aches, which in turn affect your playing because you're very tense, and so your sound is also going to be tense. My last tip is very similar to what I just said. Make sure that you have good lighting. Invest in a stand light. They're not that expensive. So no matter where you go, make sure that you are in good lighting so that you can read without tension, without straining your eyes and other muscles that you will need to create a beautiful sound. That's all that I have for today. If you have things that help you sight read, let me know in the comment section below, because I love learning from you guys as well, and I know that other people like scrolling through the comments and learning things too. So if you have any good advice, be sure to put that there. If you have any questions about this subject or any other musical subject, let me know and I will do my best to answer those questions. And as always, love what you do, practice well, and share it with others, and I will see you next week.